This is Kat with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use memory wire to make hoop earrings. So I have an example here, and this is what I'm going to be making in the video. And this is an earring using Czech glass fire polish beads, and it's really nice and lightweight, so it's not too heavy on the ear. But what's great about using the memory wire is that it keeps its shape. So if it gets pulled or anything, it actually just sort of goes back to its usual loop. And I'm going to be using some ear wires here that are unique to this project, and I just want to point them out to you. Now, normally when you look at an earring hook that's like this French wire, you'll have that loop facing to the side, which sometimes makes it difficult depending on what you're doing. But I actually found these ones where it's facing the front. So you'll see in my piece here, I have the loop going around so that when I wear it, it'll actually be facing the right way. And that's sort of a really nice little quality to these earring hooks. So for this particular design, I have 3 sizes of Czech fire polish. I did sort of a graduated loop. I have 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. And I have some memory wire here, and this is how it comes because it's generally used for bracelets, but we're going to sort of adapt it for our purposes today. And then I have a pair of round nose pliers, and you're going to want a good pair of round nose pliers because this wire is very thick. And because of that, you're going to want special cutters, and these are memory wire cutters. So you can see the shape is a little bit different than your than a usual flush cutter. And then I have my Xuron pliers, and these are the 4-in-1 crimping pliers, and I'll show you how these can be useful a little bit later. So let's go ahead and get started. So to begin, simply take your memory wire, and it'll come like this. Like I said, you'll have several different coils. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take and just cut about 1 full loop and maybe just a little bit extra, just to give yourself a little safety when you're going to cut off that memory wire. Just in case. It's always easier to trim. You always can't add. So I have a little bit of a loop and a little bit of extra. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take those round nose pliers and I'm just going to form a simple loop. And again, this wire is very thick, so you're going to want a good plier to use. And just keep that loop formed on that first side. And here's where those Xuron 4-in-1 pliers come in handy because they are actually crimping pliers. So what you can do is just for a little extra security, take it in that crimping section and just crimp that, gently crimp that so there's no opening on that loop. Okay? So this is the start of your earring. And now simply add the beads in whichever order you like. I'm going to start with my 4mm, and I'm going to add about 5. Actually, I'm going to add exactly 5. Don't quite know how you have about 5 beads. 3 and 4 and 5. Slide that down. I'm going to move on to my 6mm, and again I'm going to add 5. 4, 1 more, and 5. Just slide that down. And for my 8mm, I'm going to add 7. I want a nice big focal. And like I said earlier, because these are Czech fire polish, they're actually a really nice lightweight, so this earring will not be too heavy on your ear, which is always a concern for me. I have very delicate ears. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and now I'm just going to reverse my pattern, so I'm going to add 5 of these 6mm. And 5, there we go. And now 5 of those 4mm. 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go, and just slide that down. And I do have a little bit extra on my wire, so I'm going to need to trim that, but like I said, you're always going to want just a little bit extra and not less. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make sure that those beads are nice and snug around my loop. Take my flush cutters, and I really only want a loop that is about, I would say, a little less than 1/2 inch is what you're gonna really want to make that loop. Okay, so now I'm just gonna trim that wire away from yourself. And now again, take that round nose plier and I'm just gonna bend that in towards my beads. There we go. Make sure that loop is nice and tight. And again, I'm just gonna use those Xeron pliers just to kind of squeeze that together and make sure that it is nice and flush. There we go, just a little bit of love. Okay, there we go. So now it is nice and tight and ready to go. So all I need to do now is take my earring hook, and this is again where you're going to use those pliers, and just open that loop ever so slightly, slip on your hoop, and just close that loop. And there you go. There is your nice second earring, and you'll just repeat that process obviously to do your second one. But that's how you can make really simple, fun earrings using the memory wire loops. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can find all of these supplies and more instructional videos at Beadaholique.com.